Take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again. 52-51.
Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3. I like to learn, but there's nothing you can teach me. We all got opinions. You about to hit a meat.
We're good. Okay.
Now we're good.
You know what? He does draw blood. Sports Show. Acknowledge us.
What? Episode 207.
Wow, that's like an area code in and itself, but it's the area code for the greatest sports show on the planet. Subject to bias, of course, but regardless, Sports Show, YYC, that's the Instagram channel. Sports Show TV, that's the YouTube channel. I know you're seeing the clips. I know you're watching them. We're just asking you to please hit the subscribe button. That would be fantastic. Podbean, Spotify, YouTube,
hit it.
iTunes.
Click it.
I mean, what are we talking about over here?
Touch
CJSW 90.9 FM. We're FM people.
We're FM people.
Mitch, can you believe we're radio personalities?
You know what? It was always in the cards. You could tell. You know, if you knew us outside of the radio, you're like, one day, there's no way, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Kind of
That
thing.
is so funny.
And I think that's how me and you, just karmatic, like karma, right? Like me and you, back wall. I mean, two guys. Hey, how you doing? Good. What are you doing? I'm good.
How do we get ourselves a Juno?
Hey, listen, we're at church. What are you doing next week? Nothing new. You want to do a podcast? Sure. Okay, let's try.
All jokes aside, that's actually how it started.
No, literally, that's how it started.
It's not even...
it's kind of weird.
It brings a tear to my eye. It really does.
Let's reminisce. Let's do a reminisce show one day.
We need... Yes.
One day.
It should always be the New Year's year in review.
That's a good idea.
Where we just get insanely ridiculous, inebriated.
Yes.
Invite all past... and future guests.
Sure.
People that we forecast our sports.
I like this idea.
Our roster material.
Let's do it. Listen, we got an action-packed show. It is crazy. I'm sure a lot of the people, the roster that's listening, are watching the NHL playoffs. I mean, we're going to get right into that right away. NBA, there's things going on in the world. You know, like we love to banter. And the Maga Malaka fun and excitement is going to happen again. Dimitri, I want to just start off with this. Right now in the NHL, there's 8 series that started off the first round, and we're still in the first round because 3 teams have only advanced. That's the Florida. That's yesterday. We'll talk about that.
For sure.
The Colorado, my new favorite team maybe because of the nickname you gave them. They advanced easily. And then also it was the St. Louis Blues, where we all thought that was going to go Game 7. That's over. The rest of them are all in Game 7 situation. The banter I want to start just a little bit, just before we get into the analysis of what we've seen so far in round 1. It's the killers. We've talked about it for years. We've talked about where is the killer instinct in sports. Back in the day, you hate him, you love him, I don't care. Michael Jordan, he will put the final nail in the coffin every single time. Kobe Bryant, same thing. What is happening where I'm watching the NHL and I get this feeling, it's like, it's okay. Game 6, I don't know, maybe we'll show up, maybe we won't. The energy's there for 2 minutes. We'll get them in Game 7. It feels like that all the way through. We're going to talk about it. but the Carolina up 2-0.
Yeah.
Now they're going to Game 7 with Boston. What happened to the killer instinct?
You know, I question this, Mitch. Is it a matter of where we are in society today? Is it a matter of just how sports have evolved? Is everyone that good from a team perspective that there's no room for the killer anymore?
I would say yes. I agree with you. I mean, that's kind of to another point I had where the parity, we talked about that as well.
That's what I mean. The games have evolved.
Yes.
And the type of sports too. Like but then at the same time, right? This is where to counter my own argument, I was always used to the fact that every year in the playoffs, and I know it's only round 1 and people will emerge and this and that, but every year in the playoffs there was a killer, whether it be a third line guy, whether it be a first line person, whether it was like, oh my goodness, this guy is on top of it. This person just cannot be stopped. I get it, but you're right. There's no. I don't know.
No one's taking over games anymore. No one's doing it. Like McKinnon did it to our Flames a couple of years ago.
Just the goalies.
Buddy, how about, I hate to bring this up. I hate to bring it up, but the Pittsburgh, you guys had them on the ropes 3-1. You let them back in. Louis Domingue.
Hold on, Mitch. Hold on. You know Pittsburgh's getting decimated.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Come on.
Little
now.
different. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's also in the NBA. I'm seeing it a little bit there too.
That's where it surprises me.
That's where it is surprising because that's where I guess when I talk about it, I am actually thinking a little bit more in the NBA because one guy can actually change the whole game. Hockey, it's a little hard for one guy to totally dominate. But I don't know. As I'm going and watching all these series, I just don't see that. They don't have that same, what's the right word?
Pedigree.
Maybe pedigree, but I just find that the teams are not as anxious to close out a series. They're just like, we don't want to get injured. I'll show up when I want to show up. I'll wait till next week. Like, to me, that's part of it. Like, when Colorado knocked out Nashville. Okay, Nashville was decimated, especially at their goalie position. Their goalie's up for the Vezina for all.
I would say that's a team that has killer instinct.
That whole team showed you guys, this team is done. We actually didn't like the way they were bullying Nashville. That's how bad it was. Yeah. But they are showing everyone, we're not. Toronto. Hey, Toronto, you had them.
Hey,
okay,
we'll get it.
Well, I'll just say, get into them. Am I saying or am I saying?
No. You're right. But we've talked in other episodes and in other shows. Namely, we do the Greek show for the university here as well, where just the structure of. Is it better to be a school textbook person? Mm-hmm. Is it better to be book smart or street smart? Sometimes I feel teams are just playing book smart.
Right.
And they don't allow anyone to be a little bit street smart.
It's true.
And again, that's to say the evolution of sports. I don't know, Mitch, but you're right. I'm looking for someone.
Yeah.
I'm looking for someone to acknowledge.
Exactly.
Where's the unified champion of sports?
I talked to South Carolina George because he was quiet the last few weeks.
George.
Where are you, George?
You're really easy
Turns
to
out, poor guy's got the bronchitis.
He's got the bronchitis.
Yeah, he's not
bronchitis
happy.
or bronchiolitis?
Oh, bronchiolitis.
See?
Yeah.
Two different things.
Are they two different things?
Yeah, they are, because bronchiolitis is not quite bronchitis,
right.
but it's a lingering. It's an irritable.
Yeah, he was a little upset.
Bronchial.
I usually, when the Flames are in the playoffs, you can't get him off the text message line to tell me, the Flames suck or they're
but you don't need to speak the text, George.
No, I know, but he was a little under the weather. Either way, George is okay. Roster, if you haven't heard from George, he's fine. I was actually even thinking of surprising you and getting him on the pod today, but we'll get there. Let's find out what happens in Game 7 and next week.
Speaking of George, how crazy is he going? He's a Calgary fan who lives in South Carolina.
Exactly.
This is like the worst possible thing.
It's not a good thing right now.
Or being just a Canadian.
Yeah.
Game 7. That's great.
You got to have a strong stomach for this NHL. Absolutely. All right, let's get right into it, buddy. Let's go. The first round, I've said it once, I'll say it again. The best round. However, I have to admit, even when Johnny Hockey was here, I didn't expect all these games to go Game 6 and 7. But you got a good friend. CD said, hey, get ready. The parody, everything, it's going to happen.
Hey, he's right.
Yeah, he was right. Let's start with Florida-Washington. So that started off, that series has now ended. The Florida 9 Live Panthers, as I call them, because that was not killer instinct, what they did. That was pure luck. I don't know if you saw the other night. They had an empty net. Washington had an empty net. Missed it by the hair of their chinny chin. Florida ties it, goes into overtime, wins it. And then, again, same thing last night. They end up winning. Florida, the President's Trophy winners, avoid a huge upset because it would have been a pretty big one. They're off to the next round. They're waiting for Toronto and Tampa Bay. But what'd you think of that Florida-Washington series?
See, what I liked about the whole thing is that here's Florida. Here's finally a number one team who showed that they're a number one team. Yeah. And again, it was a tough series because, again, what's your consolation? Playing the Washington Capitals?
Seriously.
The people who won the Stanley Cup 3 years ago and a 50-goal scorer at the age of 36, whatever Ovechkin is right now. I mean, this is tough. This is a tough team. And you know what people forget is, like, last year, Washington made some significant moves to get deeper. Last year that they've all been able to play under the belt. So Florida, good job. You are who you say you are.
Yeah.
Great indicator to
watch
out now.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Watch out now.
The alarm clock went on. They were doing the proverbial trying to find the snooze.
Yeah.
They found it.
They found the snooze.
They're getting up.
Yeah.
Get ready.
They're
getting
asleep.
up.
They're putting their head on the pillow. They know they got 9 or 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to they're trying to continue the dream.
That's right.
They're like, oh my God. I was just about to, we were about to go home. I was right there.
Have you ever tried? Have you tried to go back to that dream?
Oh man. I try to go back to, buddy, it's the worst thing in the world when you have that dream. We know what we're talking about.
We all know what we're talking about.
You have that dream, and then you try to go back. You're like, please, God, give me 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I only need really one of it, but just give me 3.
Just give me the 3.
I need to go back.
I'll take my time.
And then you got to roll over and look at your wife. This is your fault. Somehow this is your fault. We have a king-size bed. Go to your side.
Go to your side. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening tonight. It's Saturday morning. It's 8:30 in the morning. Me and Dimitri are live. And later on, in only, 5-6 hours, we need to head over to Toronto. It's the first time I actually want to be in Toronto. I wish I could fly there right after this podcast, because tonight that city is going to be on fire one way or another. It's the Maple Leafs, who are up 3-2, taking on the two-time Stanley Cup champions in the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Tampa Bay did exactly what we all thought they were going to do. They can't seem to lose back-to-back games. They just don't do it. They don't want to.
It's not their thing.
It's not their thing. They said, hey, wait, whoa. We're going to Game 7. Dimitri, are you okay, all right, it's a few-part question here. Are you excited about tonight? Are you nervous for Toronto? And do you want to change your pick?
Yes, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not changing my pick, because ultimately I still want to cheer for Toronto to win. But Toronto, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to say it once.
Yeah.
And I'm going to and I'm not listen to me. Who takes an offensive penalty when you're up 3-2?
Yeah.
Are you joking? And if any Toronto fan says, well, it was the 5-on-3. No, it wasn't the 5-on-3. It was the fact that you got a 5-on-3 because you're Tampa Bay was 5-on-4. You're up 3-2.
Right.
There's less than 10, about 10 in the game.
Around there, yeah.
Okay? And you take an offensive penalty chasing the puck in their zone. Unacceptable. This is the difference between maturity and immaturity when it comes to the playoffs. That's why Tampa Bay's still in it. Toronto is the better team, in my opinion. They've been showing it. They're just, again, from the point of they're lacking experience. These little things matter. And when you're up against a 2-time Stanley Cup champ, you don't make these. I don't even care if you're up against a 2-time Stanley Cup champ. You don't make that mistake.
It's true.
I think it was Kerfoot, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
What the hell are you doing? Putting your arm up like that. You give the refs no choice.
Yeah. So I was watching the presser after, and I gotta give him some. If I'm gonna cut him down a little bit, I'm gonna give him some praise. Hey, Tavares, welcome to the game. He's been on fire the last couple of games, coming back. 2 specific games, the last 2 games,
100%.
He's shown up. Finally, earning your keep, earning that money, wearing that C proudly. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. However, they asked him straight in the thing, do you want to talk about the referees? And this is where he's a smart guy. He's like, I don't want to talk about the referees. I don't want to hear about it either.
No.
You, the Toronto Maple Leafs, lost that game. The referees, yes, they can play a factor. I'm not saying. I don't want to hear that excuse. You guys, unfortunately, can't use that. 7 straight first-round losses, maybe going on to 8. You cannot be doing that stuff to yourselves, you guys. You can't. Bottom line, you've got to win tonight. This is the biggest game. Forget the Raptors winning it.
Yeah.
Forget the Blue Jays winning it. This is bigger than both somehow.
Oh.
Somehow, first round game is bigger than the championships that these two teams have won in the past.
This is worse than the financial markets right now. This team is on the verge of complete collapse.
Yeah.
And 2 things are going to happen. Toronto, you lose. Guess what? Dumbass, you're out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Johnny's in.
Johnny's in. Number 2, Nylander.
Uh-oh.
You little wimp.
You wimpy.
How can you gain the respect of people on your team?
Right.
If you're going to play like that?
I don't know.
End of story.
From there, let's go over to Carolina and Boston. I said it a couple of minutes ago. Carolina was up 2-0, and a lot of people are going, the keg, the consistency of the keg is showing. Then Carolina go back to Boston. And Boston says, no, hey, whoa.
Oh.
Ties the series at 2. It's been every home team has won. Yeah. We're back to Carolina for Game 7. I got to be honest with you. Boston will not. It's like, they are exactly like that city. Feisty. They don't go down without a fight. So Bostonians, good on you. You shouldn't have been in this fight. Carolina, watch out, my friends. Watch out.
I might have to change my pick. I saw The Departed a little bit last night. It was on TV.
I saw it too.
Yeah. Of course you did.
Anyways.
We digress.
Yeah, right.
There's two of us, right? So I got to tell you, man. These South, they're resilient.
Yes.
You're right. They are feisty. So I actually fear, I don't know what's going to happen, but I actually fear for a team like the Carolina Kegs, because remember I told you the keg is great until you get the dessert.
True.
Right now, you're on the last course.
I like that.
You better nail this dessert.
Yeah.
Like that chocolate cake better not be bone dry like it usually is. Hey, put a little bit of effort into it. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. Mitch, these teams, like look at the teams. I'm sure we're going to go through it. It's Washington, Boston,
Right.
Pittsburgh.
I know.
Tampa Bay. That's your bottom four.
I know, man. I know.
That's the consolation.
It seems
insane.
It seems like Carolina fell apart after Sebastian Aho got destroyed on that ball. I don't know if you saw it. He might be dead. He might be Weekend at Bernie's, Weekend at Aho's. They just got him like skating around. But here's the good part. There's another Sebastian Aho. If you remember a couple of podcasters, there's another one. I think it's fairsies. If you got the exact same name and he happens to be an NHL player, you can bring him in.
I think so.
I think that's fair.
I think so.
So, hey, Islanders, send over yours. We'll send you our dead guy. It's a fair trade, one-on-one.
Hey, brother and sister twins have been tagging each other in for years. What? The NHL's any different?
I'm just saying.
Oh.
And lastly, but not leastly, because this one's actually been kind of a fun series, and I know it's been just driving your stomach up and down. It's Pittsburgh and Louis Domingue taking on Shesterkin and the New York Rangers. I don't know what to think of this team anymore. I got a little rant at the end of this, but it's tied at 3.
Yeah.
They had to come back and win last night. And this is without Crosby. Crosby's out. I don't know if it's how long for, but your Pittsburgh team, kind of like Boston. You guys got a little feisty in yourselves. I'll give it to you.
I said, I'm actually surprised that... they had a chance to close it out yesterday. So, roster, again, we're recording Saturday, so the game was yesterday. They had a chance to close it out. But look, the Pittsburgh, and I'm not trying to cobble, but Pittsburgh's getting a little bit decimated. But again, I'll tell you what I'm happy about. I'm happy about the fact that they're still at least deep enough and they're playing, to win games. And this is why I say when you get into the Carolinas and the Torontos and all that, this is what you got to look at. These people, they don't quit. Now, I'm not preparing myself in the event that Pittsburgh loses. I mean, look, I've seen that team win 3 Stanley Cups. I've seen them go out in the first round, be disappointment. We've all seen it before. But you know what? At least they don't give up, and at least they're playing. But the Rangers, remember, are the top team in that division.
Yeah.
Right? They are, they're
a higher seed than Pittsburgh.
They're a higher seed, right? Like they are the real deal over there, right? So it's not like this is Pittsburgh is just still Pittsburgh, right? It's still that air of Pittsburgh that could go all the way and win everything. So it's a little more highlighted. But it's a weird series. It's a very typical divisional series.
Right.
Where they're just playing each other because they know each other so well.
I want to bring this up really quick, and it's going to be, we'll gloss over next week when we got a little bit more time. But here's the thing. You got Shesterkin right now. He's up for the Vezina and has been nominated for the Hart.
Yeah.
Has played like garbage in the first round of the playoffs. Cale Makar versus Josie for the Norris. They were a first-round matchup. It was a clear winner. Makar destroys Josie in that competition. In fact, as of the other day, Makar's leading the NHL in scoring right now in the playoffs. And I want to bring this up because we've talked about it before. These awards that the NHL and and the NBA is also notorious for this. They want to give these awards out during the regular season. 82-game grind. Who's the best player? Then when it comes to playoffs, these guys that are up for McDavid's playing well. Austin Matthews is the other Hart candidate. And then you got Shesterkin. I'm sorry. And then I see a Cale Makar. Cale Makar might lose the Norris, but he clearly showed he was a better defenseman and a better player in the playoffs. I think you got to open it up until your team's done and just see how you do in the playoffs, because those games, in my opinion, isn't that the reason you play 82 games to get to the playoffs, to showcase your talent?
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing stuff now, and I know Shesterkin has been doing a lot. He's carried this team all the way through, but you're at the worst time, you're falling apart, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mitch, and I agree with you because it'd be one thing to say, let's say you had a Connor McDavid who played for who are some of the bottom teams in the league?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah, thank you. So you had a McDavid playing for Phoenix, and you're like, look, the whole team sucks. They just happened to draft this guy. It's not his fault. He's still getting 130 points in the season. Yeah, you look at that and say, okay, that's quite an achievement. Maybe he gets the Hart, whatever, right?
Right.
You know, or the Ted Lindsay. Like, see, at least there's that award that's voted on by the players. To me, that's almost like the equalizer
Right.
award. But you're right. The whole point is to get into the playoffs.
Right.
The whole point is once you're there, let's see who
you are.
You know, we talk about the playoff hockey being the real hockey. You know, where the stars are born, where real stuff's made of. Well, let's see what you're made of.
Yes.
And if I'm, you know, the NHL, Pierre, whoever's doing it, you know, if you have Makar versus Josie head to head, and there's just a clear win. It's a clear winner.
Yes, it was a clear, beyond clear. Beyond clear.
What more do you want for
Well,
a tiebreaker?
exactly. That's
the
what
other
I'm
guy's
saying.
getting lit up.
Yeah.
And let's face it, you're right. He's falling apart in the playoffs.
Listen, a lot of deflections, all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Right now, I'm let's say a fair weather fan, and I turn it on, and I'm like, and you tell me, you're like, oh, the goalie for the New York Rangers, he's up for the Vezina, he's gonna probably win that hands down, and he's up for the best player, and you're watching, you're like, he just let in 6 goals. What are you talking about?
Like sometimes
I would think you were crazy.
Dude, the eye test actually should equate for something more than just stats sometimes.
Yes, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not good. I mean, 82 games, you're awesome. These last 6, or actually going into 7, you've sucked. So, you know what? Maybe in the next round, if the Rangers make it to the next round, okay. Maybe you go on a heater. Great. Now you're justified.
Listen,
but if you get knocked out by Pittsburgh, how can I give you the Hart? How?
It's like getting catfished. Sure,
like
your Tinder profile looks great, but the moment you've opened your mouth, you've ruined it.
You ruined it.
It's over.
If you're getting catfished and then you call her and she sounds like me, it's not good. It's not good. I don't care how hot she looks on the picture. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I'm telling you.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi. Hey, how's it going? You're so hot.
Move on.
All right, we're off to the West. It's Colorado Cobra Kai, my new favorite team because my buddy pegged them that way. Get him! Put him in a body bag, McKinnon.
Enough said. It's over.
It's over.
Colorado.
You got Colorado.
Acknowledge
This is the only series that actually knows who they're going to play each other. I say get going sooner than later because the NBA, they're about done, and they started at the same time as you.
I agree.
We'll get to
you know
that.
What? Forget the schedule. I'm not waiting for you. I'm not waiting for
Just
you.
go.
Let's
What do you guys
go.
want? This is like the Amazing Race.
Right?
You got a lead? Go. Take it. Go.
Colorado, St. Louis, it's done. We get it.
Yeah.
Go.
Boom.
You know what? And I agree because what if Colorado blanks St. Louis?
Yeah. They got to wait like a month to play. It's not good.
They got a 2-week They have a vacation back to practice. I'm just saying.
What is this, the national title for football, for football, college football? Like, you got to wait a month to play the final game? Like, it's ridiculous. So, Colorado easily goes through Nashville. We don't need to stay on that one. St. Louis, surprising, in 6. But, you know,
it though?
But Binnington coming back from the dead. He's back.
Hey, I don't know why people forget.
Yeah.
The guy who was there when they won the cup.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying, too.
Put that in your Shesterkin and smoke it.
From there, we go north. We head 3 hours north from exactly here at the University of Calgary, and we'll end up at Rogers Place. It's Game 7.
Yeah.
LA somehow pulled it off a couple of days ago where they were up 3-2. They win in overtime. They go back to LA, and they're up 2-0. LA ties it, and then Edmonton put on the boosters at the very end. Tyson Barrie with the game winner. We are Game 7 in Edmonton tonight. Dimitri, what do you want to change your pick, or do you want to stick around?
I'm gonna stick with my pick, but you know what? I will say this: at least the Edmonton Oilers, I will say this, are showing their fans something. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh.
LA's a tough, well-organized team.
Yeah, I agree.
LA's not the best team. They're just a well-organized team, and they play tough and. But at least the Edmonton Oilers, if I'm an Oilers fan,
Right.
okay, out of all 3 of those Canadian teams, I would much rather right now be an Oilers fan than a Flames fan and a Toronto fan. Because
Yes.
as an Oilers fan, I can actually believe that the Oilers can win this game. So you know what, Edmonton? You proved me a little bit wrong, and in a good way. You're showing heart. Yeah. You may be losing games, but you know what? I like the way they're playing. I like the way they're trying. Okay, and they bounce back and they respond. They could very well lose today. It'll be disappointing. It'll definitely raise a lot of things in that organization. But what I will say is, as an Oilers fan, you got to be happy that at least they're giving you games where they're producing. At least they're giving you games where you say, yeah, this is a good team. The other two, I'm sorry, but enough is enough. I don't know how much time you want to spend on Edmonton and LA because, I would much rather, as a homer, get fired up and just lay right into our team.
And we will.
But Edmonton, I can believe that, you know what? I'm going into Game 7 confident. The other two, forget it.
Yeah, it's very well said. I will say this. I'm going to stick with my pick, which was LA, because, yeah, Edmonton, you have shown a little bit more heart, and you definitely have the talent and the firepower. But the one thing I just can't get over, it's like, you guys don't really have a good excuse here. Like, you have the firepower. You got a good enough team. This should not go to 7. This should have been done in 6, 5 maybe. And you know what? You guys just are lacking something. And tonight, I can't help. I know everyone's is saying Mitch wants it because of the McDavid and Draisaitl thing that I keep harping on. Damn rights I do. But the point of the matter is that at the end of the day, I'm still not convinced. I look at the Edmonton team, Dimitri, and I say one thing to myself. If you trade McDavid, let's say Draisaitl, that's more realistic.
Sure.
Wow. That team, my humble opinion, gets a whole lot better.
You know what? This is where, unfortunately, I have to agree with Mitch, and I hate you, Roster. Somehow this is your fault. Say, Roster, you wanted this.
You needed this.
But the reality is that if you have a team like the Los Angeles Kings that have a couple of good players,
there we go.
That one is well over the hill, one's not even playing, another one is a little bit past his prime, but still very effective. I'm talking about the Kopitar.
Yeah.
And they can keep up.
Just saying.
And they got good, you get to a point where you start looking and saying, okay, so if this is what it takes, how
many more examples do you need, Dimitri?
So when you start looking at the St. Louis's, when you start looking at the Nashvilles, when you start looking at Minnesota, when you start looking at LA, when you start looking at New York Rangers, put them there and you say, these are the teams that don't struggle to get in the playoffs. They're causing a lot of trouble for their respective opponents, and or if they've already beat them, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe the whole 1-2 punch ain't the greatest strategy in the world.
Can I say one other thing? Going back to the Minnesota thing. Hey, Minnesota, how's that insurance policy matching up for you?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I got it. Guys.
Hey, Cam Talbot, come and win the last game for us. We need you in now.
Could you do that?
We're sorry. Fleury is a little bit of a troublemaker if you think about it. You go and get him, you put him in, and then he's the one. He should I like Fleury, and I'm sure he's a great guy. He should have been like, no speak English, no.
You know what Fleury is? Fleury's he's the I don't know what the term is. We should coin a term, right?
Yeah.
But he's the ultimate sandbag guy. He's this guy. He's like, so Fleury, what do you think about Cam Talbot? Oh, great guy, deserves the start.
Sure.
Yeah, everything's great. Except for that whole money laundering thing. But everything is. Whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, nothing. But anyways, look, you should start him. Everything's good. I mean, I know his left shoulder's like, he's got a weird glove hand.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, nothing. No, nothing. Like, you know what I mean? He's like he just, he's a landmine.
He's a landmine. Now, Cam Talbot carries you to the playoffs. Used to be a Calgary Flame. Dimitri, off to Calgary, Dallas. That one also now a Game 7. I watched the game in its entirety. Actually, I've watched this whole series, obviously, as a homer that I am. And it has been Dr. Jekyll and Hyde with this team. It's been working into Dallas's play, right? Like Dallas has controlled them. In my humble opinion, Dallas is controlling how this game goes. When Dallas says, let's open up the throttle, Calgary's like, yes! And then that's when they control the tempo, that's where we either win or die. I don't know what's happening. Yesterday, I was disappointed because, when they tied it, I was convinced we were going to win it.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Dallas, poised, man. They pull it together. They do what they got to do. And here we go. We're tomorrow night here, Sunday in Calgary. It's Game 7. It's Calgary, the number 1 seed in the Pacific, taking on Dallas, who just made it in. I don't know. You said it beautifully a minute ago. I'm not 100% confident.
No, I'm not confident.
No,
I'm not. Look, of course they can win. I still think they're the better team.
Of course they are.
But I'm just not confident, and it's to Mitch's point. Why do we have to play? And this is where me and CD, we go into work every day, and we fundamentally disagree on this. And I say, why are we playing down to Dallas's style of like Dallas is saying, look, we need to slow it down, we need to grind it down, we need to keep, and they're playing into it instead of trying to open it up. Now you're gonna say, Dimitri, well, that's easier said than done. They got a good goalie, and remember, Dallas is a great team, and I get all that stuff, and you may be right, but you're also wrong because Calgary, time and time again, shows when they play their game and they open it up and they get a little confident, they annihilate this team.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
No, I agree.
Game 5, record shots, floodgates get open in the third. That could happen, in my opinion, at any particular time. But for whatever reason, Calgary is just content on winning by 1 goal, on being patient and grinding it out, and they don't know how to act when the game is down. Listen, Kachuk, I made a joke earlier talking to Mitch. Your new nickname, if you don't change, is Kachoke.
Kachoke?
Okay, Tyler Toffoli, more like Tyler to Fluffy. I cannot, Mitch, I cannot stand to watch a guy in professional sports shoot the puck like I do.
Oh, dude.
How many times has he fluffed on the puck? Who is this guy?
I don't know.
Where is this guy?
What happened?
Chuck, what are you doing?
Who's this guy? Who are you talking about? Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Is that...
What's
that outside?
What's that? Is that Mitch?
Oh, buddy. Is that the... It's like an Amber Alert, but it's not. It's the Kachuk Alert. Where has this guy been? Listen to me, you faker. Yeah, I'm going to call you a faker. You're a 100-point faker. You got 100 points in the season, 40-plus goals. Where the hell have you been? You've been yandling this whole series. 6 straight games. I saw you a couple of times with the puck. I was wondering, why do you have it? Because you're not going to do anything with it. Haven't seen you do anything. At least little Johnny's trying to do something. At least Lindholm's doing it. Markstrom's out there stopping 50 shots. Where the hell has this guy been? Like, how is it not that this is his contract year? Yeah. He must be allergic to money. He wants to stay in Calgary because no one's going to give him money now. If I'm a GM and I go back to what I said, you're great during 82 games. Great. Where are you when I need you? We need to. Every team goes into the season thinking they're going to win the Stanley Cup. You're going to go out and pay this guy this kind of money that he deserves over 82 games? Sure. But when it comes to playoff time and you're not even there, dude, what happened? Even if he has a 3-point night tomorrow night and they win, I'm still going to I'm staying on his back. This should not have gone this far. And if he was part of this game or over the last 6 games, we are not in this scenario. He is the number one reason. I don't care what anybody else says. I know people are going, Mitch, they're not. No, he is the first 2 games, you were in there trying to fight everybody, doing whatever you do, and nothing. Chirps, crickets, whatever you want to call it, since for the last 4 games. Where is Matthew Tkachuk?
I don't know, but you guys better thank your lucky stars that you have Markstrom. You better thank your lucky stars that you have Markstrom, because the amount of damage control that this guy has done by saving potential goals, and that's the thing, you know, when Calgary's good, they're good, but when they're bad, man, it's not even bad. They're atrocious. Like, Calgary, wake up.
Yeah, it's time to wake up.
The number one team. What are you playing so scared for? What's everyone changing their mold for? I can't even. I can't even go here, right? Everyone else is doing their part except the big guys.
When Stone is your goal scorer and maybe the biggest offensive threat you have, we got a problem here. We got a problem. And by the way, one last thing.
Best flame is Backlund.
Easily. I agree with you.
No,
I told South Carolina Georgia the same thing yesterday.
It's not even close for me.
And hey, Mangiapane, it's okay to pass the puck once in a blue moon because everyone knows you want to shoot. So if you pass it, you might trick them and we might score. Just a little FYI.
Yeah, maybe turn into Mangiapane.
And one last thing, Odinger, give the guy some credit. I know a lot of us were saying, we're shooting a red. You know what, man? For a 23-year-old goalie, first time ever, this guy likes money. He's going to make money this
He likes money.
He likes money.
Yeah, he likes it.
All right, from there, we hop over to the NBA. know what? I'm fired up about the Flames.
Whoa!
I'm upset about these guys. They should not be going to Game 7 because you know and I know this is not good for us.
Not good.
We are not used to this. We don't like it.
I don't know what's going to happen to Johnny Gaudreau. Like,
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Listen, I don't make fun of athletes when they cry because, you know.
He looked upset.
But
He looked upset.
This guy, did you see him slam the... Then take that to the ice!
Yeah.
All of you!
All of it. It takes Johnny at 5'2.5" to get that mad. Shame on the Flames. Shame.
Jeez. You know who else is a MAGA for the Flames?
Sure.
Coleman.
Coleman's a good guy.
Coleman and
you know why? Because he was on the two-time Stanley Cup champions. He gets it.
He gets it.
By the way, one last thing, if you don't mind me saying. Lucic. I know he's the toughest guy in the league, or at least top two, him and Reeves.
Yeah.
He must really be tough. No one wants to go anywhere near him.
No one.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They're like, he just body checked at the end of the game. He like grabbed a couple of
did you
guys,
see that?
and no one wanted to get near
They're like,
him.
hey, it's okay.
Usually they all try to be tough. Let me grab you.
No, we got it. It's just a misunderstanding. It's my little brother. He wanted to come for the ride.
He didn't know.
He didn't
know who you were.
It's a misunderstanding.
Really sorry about this.
Yeah.
I just found it hilarious,
buddy,
man.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
see, that's what
funny.
you know. What, a team, and I hope it's Calgary. Just get Reeves and Lucic.
That's
Put him
it.
on the fourth line.
That's all you
or not
need.
even. Put him on line one with Gaudreau.
Yeah, now we're on something.
Get back to some old time hockey.
I like what you're doing there. That opens up trades during the NHL playoffs should happen. That should be allowed.
Could you imagine?
Let's go to the NBA. We've neglected it a little bit, but we'll talk about it a little bit today. It's Philadelphia taking on Miami. Maybe the most underrated number one seed of all time in all sports.
It's crazy.
They end up knocking out Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But, dude, the other night, it's closeout game. Miami's in Philly. Philly's one of the nastiest places to play both football, basketball, you name it, hockey, it doesn't matter. James Harden, one of the most prolific scorers of all time. First quarter or first half, 10 points or so, something like that. Second half, takes 2 shots. Here's a guy that's up for another guy who's allergic to money, I guess. He's up for a mega contract if he wants it. $44 million plus. What happened here? Obviously, he doesn't want to stay in Philly.
But you know, you talked about killer instinct. There's something to be said about shitty instinct and shitty attitude. That's all it is with this guy. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, if I'm a team, he's a good player. But at the same time, I wouldn't want anything to do with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I remember a time when you had real leaders on the team, and we're going to stay with the NBA. You had real leaders. You had Michael Jordan that said, "Hey, this team."
Yeah.
Is all about character.
That's right.
And if you don't fit it, I mean, if you watch the series that it had, you know, problems with even like Rodman, for example.
Exactly.
Well, they had to whip him into shape.
Hey, he liked to party.
But I like the party. But no, what I'm saying is, hey, this is a character team.
That's right.
Kobe Bryant. This is a character type team. Okay? And what happens is everyone Harden, man, this guy, like 2 shots. Come on, man. Come on. Who do you think you are?
This is a guy that you couldn't get the ball out of his hands before, and now you're only taking 2 shots?
And basketball is terrible for the names.
Right.
Right? Terrible for, if you're a name, we'll take you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because it's so bad. But what the baggage that comes with it, it's just not, these organizations have to look and say, it's not worth it. Harden, you've done nothing.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of great players, you've done absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And that beard. Look, I don the beard. Trim it down a little. I mean, you're on TV all the time. Fix yourself up.
It's even not trending
I don't even like it. With dreadlocks, it doesn't go. Anyways, off to the greatest series. This one might actually beat up on some of the NHL playoff. It's Boston and it's Milwaukee. They're headed on to Game 7 tonight.
Tight.
And you know what? It does feel like it's Tatum versus Giannis. Like, it just feels like it's just 100%, a one-on-one, man.
100%.
What a great series. This has been, I love my basketball, and I've been glued to this. I have been flipping back. If the Flames aren't playing, I'm watching this series. Yeah, this has been great.
Look, great series, exactly where it is. Defending champions against the team that is just deep, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is your Edmonton, LA in a weird way, right? But better. Those teams be better.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sticking with Boston.
Yeah.
Boston was my pick.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick with them. I kind of hope I'm right, but I'm kind of hope I'm wrong. My ego wants me to be right. My heart wants me to be wrong.
Well, I hear you. Listen, I'm going to stick with my Milwaukee still. I just feel like you know what? It's like Giannis needs to be in hostile territory to be even better. He's already been fantastic, and to be
what
even
I
better.
like about both teams is that they play down to the wire.
Yeah.
There's no game that's ever done for them, and both teams have won a game each where they needed they just needed to seal the deal. So when you talk about killer instinct, these two teams have it. Like they will close out the game if they have the opportunity. You look at the Bucks winning Game 5, man.
Yeah, man.
That was all okay. No,
exactly.
No, this is ours today.
I'm just gonna say this. I said earlier I wanted to go to Toronto. I take that back. I want to go to Boston. Carolina, Boston, Game 7 tonight. Boston, Milwaukee, Game 7 tonight. That's where you want to be tonight.
That's where you want to be.
I want to be a Boston fan. That's it.
That's it.
Let's go over to Phoenix, who thought, hey, we got Dallas. No problem. We're the number one seed. It's Game 7, and it's Luka, buddy. Luka has now put everybody on standby. Like, everyone knew he was good. Everyone knows he's going to take over the league. I think some people thought it was going to be in the next year, 2 years. No. He has told you, if you don't know who I am, guess what? Find out quick. This kid might be taking the Mavericks to the Western Conference Final. Wow.
Yeah, alone.
It's
insanity to me.
Yeah.
Against Phoenix.
Yeah. The number one seed, and by a lot, by the way.
Two-time number one seed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this team is poised. Their coach was the NBA Coach of the Year. They got the Booker. They got the Chris Paul. They got they got the Bridges. They got a good team. Phoenix should really have knocked these guys out in 5. But Luka, like I said earlier today, basketball is that one sport where one guy can take over. And if you're a betting man, you take the points because Luka is going to get you his. I'm telling you right now. And this kid is he's got that fire, man. He just doesn't want to lose. You can tell he's like a Jordan-esque kind of guy. Gets mad if he loses. He's got that fire, man. I was a fan of his. I'm a bigger fan now.
Oh, I'm a bigger fan.
That's killer instinct, by the way. That's killer instinct.
Yeah, he wins the killer instinct award of the year.
Yes.
He's already won it, in my opinion. And if you're the Dallas Mavericks, what a contract signing, eh?
Yeah.
What a great job.
That's nice.
Did. What a great
just
job.
Get him one guy.
And
get him help.
What a good foresight to give up your pick to get this guy.
Yeah. Well, last year, remember Trae Young went on a rampage? And everyone's like, oh, Trae Young for Luka, because they were flip-flopped in the draft. And everyone was all like, oh, who's really the better player? I think it's pretty obvious now. I think we got it. Yeah. And then we end up, by the way, your basketball and all picks so far have been fantastic. Golden State knocking out Memphis last night. They're off to the Western Conference. In fact, on the way here, I was listening to a little CBS Sports. Vegas has favored Golden State to win it all. Doesn't matter who comes out of the East. It's Golden State. It's Curry. It's the boys. They're wrecking good. And you know what? They do look good. And they can play different modes, as I noticed yesterday. Totally. They had to put the big guy in because they didn't have a big guy because they've all been playing small. Now they get to go back to what they're usually Golden State.
Guys, everyone forgot. There's a guy named Klay Thompson who wasn't around for a little bit.
Couple of years.
Now he's back.
That's right.
That adds so much to that team. And if there's one thing I learned about Steph Curry, is Steph Curry actually is a very underrated player in a way. No, in a way.
Okay.
Everyone thinks he's just a shooter.
Right.
But you have to really watch the games to see what he really does on the court. And this guy is Captain Utility, man.
Yeah, he does a lot. He's a great ball handler, maybe the best in the league. A lot of people tend to forget that.
I mean, he does so much. It's the versatility. Everyone, he just shoots threes. Yeah, he does it, and he's done it the best all time. However, everything else, so now when you have another shooter,
right?
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
that was my whole thesis on this.
Well, hey, you know what? Your thesis seems to be coming true.
Greek for position.
Oh, yeah, I never thought of that. That's
it's this.
All right, from there we go over to Rapid Banter. Let's go. NFL schedule was unveiled during primetime showing. Big deal or not big deal?
Big deal.
Broncos and Russells. First game of the NFL year. Monday Night Football versus Seattle in Seattle. Too quick or let's get it over with.
Mile high for mile high?
Barstool Sports has had some office romance scandal. Guy dated girl, they break up. Another guy at the office starts dating the girl. Cool, not cool.
Code breakers.
Tavares has joined the Maple Leafs party. Who needs to show up for Game 7, Tavares or Mitch?
Nylander.
Best Greek hockey player, the GGOAT, Nick Kyprios, Nick Fotiu, Tom Kostopoulos, Chris Chelios, or George Paros?
George Pados' mustache, however, it's the Chilios.
If Edmonton loses tonight, acknowledge me. Who do you trade, McDavid or Draisaitl?
Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Mike Smith.
Leaf tickets tonight are going for $12,000. Not a joke. Worth the price of admission, or I'll just watch it from home.
And now we found the problem of the Leafs fan.
Russia has been training dolphins working the shorelines in this war against Ukraine. Killer dolphins or killer whales?
They have freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Buddy, I heard about this the other day. This is crazy. This is just...
Is it, Mitch? Is it?
Yeah, man, it is. I don't know. Last one. New NFL quarterback draftee Sam Howell has never ate a burger or steak, but eats chicken. Thoughts?
What an idiot.
It is rapid banter. Actually, here's one last one.
I saw that. He's like, I only eat meat. I eat as chicken. I've never had a steak. Oh, so you've never had fun.
Yeah, exactly. Just broccoli and chicken and brown rice. Well, it did get him to the NFL, so you can't say that bad anything about it, I guess.
Sure,
right?
whatever.
There's one last one.
You know, Budweiser's got Favre championship. Just throw it
Yeah, just say, yeah, it's a good point. One thing, there's a family that's trying to sue right now a golf course because the golf balls keep hitting their house.
Right.
The problem is that their house is on the golf course.
You can't sue.
Buddy, I was reading this report. It's the funniest thing in the world. This family's like livid. Like they are trying to do everything to sue. And they're like, when you bought this house, did you know you're on the golf course? Swear to God. Yeah, we did. So now the reporter's going, okay, so let me get this straight. You wanted to buy this house? Yes, sir. You knew it was on a golf course? Yeah. Like right in the fairway, you knew it was like, off to the side or whatever? Yeah. Yep. And you're surprised that golf balls are in? Yes. What do you say at this moment?
You can't reason with that.
Yeah.
You know what? Now it's to the point.
Yeah.
Where now people are like, dude, we got to try for that house.
We got to go for that house.
Let's drive them crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
that's exactly it.
There's a groups that are doing that. Right? It's like a casino. Remember when the Fed plane land and Joe Pesci's like, hey, $50 whether it's the plane, and they're all just
right. That's right. So if you're part of the Tenzar family down in the U.S., maybe change your name or move, but it doesn't make any sense what you're doing.
I bet you they only eat chicken.
I bet you
they're chicken eaters.
You're right. It's Maga Malaka time. This time I only picked one. Why? Because there's so many Game 7s. I said, hey, Dimitri.
Oh, okay.
Game 7s. Where to watch them and what to do with them. Are you ready?
Right. I like that.
Here we go. Maga Malaka. Watch Game 7 at home.
Maga.
Maga. I like it too.
Yeah.
Watching with buddies.
Maga.
Yeah.
Depends on the buddies.
Actually, here's the next one. Friend of a friend. So your friend calls you, you go over to your friend's house, but there's like more other friends that you don't really know that are all there.
Okay, so I'm going to go Malaka on this one because it's a two-parter for me. Number one, sometimes you stumble on, where have you been all my life?
Sure.
Fat. But then you stumble on, I know everything. This game's stupid. I'm going to talk, they haven't scored yet? Goal.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
I agree.
And then if you're showing up, there's just a whole, just be prepared for either outcome is all.
That's right. That's right. What about the pub? Going to the pub to watch a Game 7?
Depending on the pub. Again, listen.
I hear you.
I have to give it a Malaka to forewarn the roster. It depends which pub. That's all there is to it.
I've been talking to old cousin Jim.
Because here's the problem. Here's the problem, right? Sorry to go ahead.
It's okay. No, say it.
Yeah, here's the problem with the pubs. This is just how I feel. You go to a pub, okay? You're in the mood. The moment you get there, you get your drink, you order your wings, you're doing your thing. Well, then all of a sudden you want to order something else. If that pub is not staffed properly, equipped properly, it could ruin your whole night.
It could. That's a good point.
Right? You order another beer or another beverage, and guess what? If it takes 25 minutes, you're like, am I at the Saddle Dome?
Right.
What the heck is going on
I was
over
talking
here?
to old cousin Jim, and he was like, you know what? The atmosphere is... COVID's killed the pub atmosphere for playoffs. It's killed it.
Right. Okay.
How about this? Outdoor venue. You see what's going on in Calgary. A lot of people are going downtown, like right onto the parking lots and watching the game live in the open air, if you will.
Oh, yeah. Those open areas?
Yeah.
Maga. Yeah, I like those.
Okay, two more. What about your in-laws' house?
Malaka. Because typically they don't know anything about hockey, and then you got to sit here and explain the rules.
Right.
You can't do that.
How about this last one? Watching Game 7 by yourself.
believe it or not, MAGA.
MAGA.
MAGA
I'm with you.
sometimes.
Couldn't agree.
Because here's the thing, right?
More.
You get to really enjoy. It depends what kind of fan you are, too,
Right,
right?
right.
You get to enjoy the game. On top of that, if you don't like the outcome, you can actually switch the channel.
Agreed.
And turn on something that makes you happy.
Chances are Goodfellas is on.
Or you can go online and take a moment for yourself.
I mean, it's commercial break, right? So it's whatever. You get back and you're like, oh, still more commercials.
We're talking about YouTube. These are longer. That's a long commercial.
Sure it was.
Yeah. Well, I can't believe I missed the third.
It's still in the middle of the Geico commercial. You flipped at the beginning of it, and somehow it's still at the end. It's
Speaking of commercials, all I'm going to say is this, and I'm going to leave it at this.
Yeah.
Can there not just be a skip ad function? Just let me have a skip ads function. That's it. That's all I want.
That's not a bad idea.
That's all I want.
That's it.
I'll pay the premium.
Sure.
I won't, but I'm just saying.
There it is. All right.
On YouTube.
Episode 207.
We've really been
It's in the book.
talking
Walk away.
about
Walk away. So
Okay, listen. Thank you very much for tuning in to our hub of sports. Sports Show YYC.
Sports Hub?
Write that shit down.
Cut it off. Cut it off.
baby. Amy, they're going to steal it.
No, they won't. We don't
I'm sure it's taken. I'm sure it's taken. So we're gonna look for Sports Hub, Sports Stars, Sports Hat, Sports Sports Tube. Anyways, Sports Show YYC. That's what it is for us. Sports Show TV on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes, CJSW 90.9 FM. Thank you so much for tuning in. But like Mitch said, episode 207. It's one for the books. We gotta shove it in the locker because we do gotta hit the showers.
See you later, guys. Have a great week. Take a look at this pic.
Hold on a sec. I gotta put my glasses on. I can't see.
I'm just getting started. I was talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go here.
That's really top heavy.
It's top heavy. That's the way it should be. See you later, guys.
Got it, baby.
Then I'm see what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.